Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight for the 2021 Pinnacle Safety Awards. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that I'm speaking to you from the unceded territories of the Solo people, part of the Coast Salish region of southwestern British Columbia. I also want to make sure that you are comfortable for this evening's event platform. Shindig lets us connect with you and lets you talk with each other. On your screen, just click on a person's photo or start to have a video or chat text. You can have up to 6 people join a private viewing party, and this way, while you're still watching us live, we can't hear you, but you'll still be able to hear us. During the program, we'll also invite award recipients to join us live on stage. When you hear your name called, please click on the Join Podium link that will appear at that time, and you'll automatically join me here where everyone can see and hear us. At the top right of your screen, you can control your video, microphone, and speakers. Please click on that setting icon if you have any issues. At the bottom of your screen, this is your control panel with options to ask questions or raise your hand. If you have any problems or have any questions about the platform, please raise your hand and our team will come to connect with you. We also have provided a link which appears on the bottom right of how to use Shindig, which links us to a resource page with more information on how to use the platform. Thank you again for joining us. Now, please welcome Lisa McGuire to the stage.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Lisa McGuire, and I'm the CEO of the Manufacturing Safety Alliance of BC. Welcome to the 2021 Safety Pinnacle Awards. Before today's awards program, we are privileged to open with the premiere of Unseen Heroes, featuring the incredible journey of the pandemic's other essential workers in the manufacturing and food processing sectors. Our 2021 award nominees, many of you in the audience here tonight, were involved in the filming of this feature-length documentary, and we're thrilled this evening to share your stories. Let's watch the premiere production of our heroes through the pandemic, and then stay tuned to meet the 2021 award recipients together.
It was all unknown at first. We didn't really know what was happening.
I think at the beginning there was a bit of fear that I think that we all had. We didn't know what to expect.
We didn't know the severity of what this virus could do. So we were really looking to make sure everybody was going to be safe.
With COVID-19 was really interesting for me because I had actually been on maternity leave and was coming back in right in the middle of the pandemic.
It's the last vacation that, as a full family, because my son was graduating and graduated last year, we drove to Seattle, and from Seattle to Japan to Indonesia to Bali, and then 2 other plane flights to a remote island.
I had that, added element of a little bit of stress that not only had I taken time off work and was coming back in, but the whole realm of the world had changed when I was coming back to work.
We were on top of a cliff overlooking the surf. And when we landed, we heard that a pandemic was declared.
I originally think that people didn't like to be, felt as though they didn't want the control. They didn't want to be controlled or wear it. But I think when they saw the risk of what was going on in the world, everyone got on board. Everyone got on board, and they were doing the right thing to protect not only them, their families, and their coworkers, which was very important.
None of us had any experience with a global pandemic. right out of the gate, we weren't 100% sure exactly what was going to be happening. And so COVID has definitely opened up not just safety concerns, but just commerce across the world.
We didn't really know what the risks of COVID were or what we should do to protect ourselves. So that made it extra challenging.
You know, every day was different. There was new information coming out, and I think for me, I really just wanted to rally our team to really be prepared to pick up the phone or answer emails.
So for us, we had to slowly figure out how we can do it. So it was a big challenge, and we didn't know if one of us will get sick, what to do.
The initial reaction in the beginning was largely emotional, as the science really wasn't quite there yet. But that was quickly managed through science-based approach to this pandemic.
So we took cues from what the government laid out for us to do, so the government of British Columbia, as well as the government of Canada, but also we had looked to our leadership to develop something quickly in place just to keep our employees, keep us safe.
It's something that we have never heard of, or this is something that's what's going on in the world. What we need to do was we need to communicate our employees what's going on and what our protocols are.
It starts, of course, with protecting the worker. That's your primary objective. That's your purpose. But at the same time, we're in business, and in order to succeed in business, you have to get everybody pulling in the same direction.
It was just overwhelming. It really was.
Keeping people safe here in the cellar, the challenges we had, very fortunate when COVID first hit, we were in our off season, well not off season, but in our slower season here in the cellar, mainly just getting ready for bottling.
Yeah, I was nervous, but when I reached out to my employer, there was lots of conversations. I was given our handbook on COVID-19, so I knew fully what to expect when I came back to work, and I felt really comfortable and I felt protected and safe. Yeah, with a winery, we have a unique, I guess, experience with COVID-19 because we're manufacturing and we're also tourism, so consumer facing.
Well, you think about the poultry, the poultry processors, it's not like you can put a bunch of poultry barns on hold. Those birds are entering into a part of maturity. If they don't go into the system, they unfortunately have to destroy them, right? So it's not even that it's this little thing. It's a massive knock-on effect.
We didn't escape the impact that pandemic has had on our organization. It was significant.
So businesses, at the very beginning, we didn't know a lot about this virus. And industry never stopped. They've been on the front lines since the very beginning, learning at the same time as the scientists, as our health professionals.
There were a number of challenges that we had to adapt to through the early COVID stages. My management team met every day because things were changing at such a rapid pace, and the fact that we had to keep on top of making sure that we were meeting the safety protocols that the federal and the provincial government were bringing forward.
Looking for personal protective equipment. At the beginning, everybody wanted N95 masks, respirators to protect everybody from the potential of that virus being there for not getting into our lungs. But we didn't have enough, and the healthcare industry needed those masks.
We all did at a period of time, unless it was, you physically had to be here. There was some, doing checks and some type of meetings had to happen face to face. But generally, for a period of probably 6 to 8 months, most of us all work from home. So we had an environment, even today, there's probably 20% of our workforce is out of the office here, is working from home.
A lot of the office team can go and work from home. We can send our engineers home, we can send our administration team home, we can send our finance team home. We have that luxury on the office side. We do not have that luxury on the manufacturing side.
As for our safety culture and the pandemic, or many things can be said. Our culture certainly helped us a lot.
In manufacturing, sometimes you have specific processes that have been perfected over years where we found the most efficient and safest way.
I think one of the biggest challenges is that A majority of our team are essential service workers. They're production staff. They have to be in the building to do their job. It's not like they could bring a box home to form it and then bring it to a customer. So to be able to have our team come into work feeling safe, feeling healthy, and that they know that their coworkers are also healthy, that was a really big challenge for us.
When we put a new product into production, it has basically about 8 days before the process is complete. Any kind of interruption in between that 8 days most certainly would result in a product that is not usable. And so if we would have had a wave come into our facility of COVID positive cases, most likely we would have had our operation shut down, most likely temporary, but it would have been shut down, and any shutdown in any capacity would be a disaster for us.
So with manufacturing, they kind of just kept going on. We still have to make wine, it's still safe to do that, but when it came to actually accepting guests at the tasting room, we had to shut down for part of last year. And so that was really interesting to be a part of. It was, right when our season's supposed to be ramping up and getting really busy, and we're shut down. And then once everything was opening up more and we were allowed to accept guests, we had a really comprehensive safety plan in place to make sure that we were protected, and also our guests had a safe place to come enjoy a really wonderful experience at the winery.
One of the very first things we did was we implemented the temperature checks and then the COVID forms that came in with the different symptoms that people were having. I think one of the most frustrating aspects from the employee's perspective working on the machines was the wearing of the mask and the fogging up of the safety glasses or their glasses that they're wearing. And then also at some employees having to wear gloves. It's not so easy to pack the product with a glove on, so they had to take that off. So we implemented sanitizing of all the machines at start of shift and end of shift. So the shift that came in at 8 o'clock would sanitize. When they left at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., they would sanitize. The next shift comes in, sanitizes. When they leave, they sanitize.
Through our, hiring and retention process, we have obviously a whole bunch of policies and procedures that are shared with the staff or onboarding the staff. But training is extremely important here for us. Of course, in the winemaking side, that they learn all their safety protocols, just the day-to-day safety things. But in the tasting room, we have to be careful. But we're all about, guest experience and having a really great time and providing the best winery experience in BC. And so we were trying to find ways how we could keep doing that.
My role with the Alliance is a safety advisor, and I'm also the combustible dust specialist. Well, a lot of our work that we do with clients is right on site. So we had to go from being there on site to doing it virtually, which is a little bit more difficult.
We were hit hard at AEM, but it could have been a whole lot worse had it not been for the efforts of our Joint Health and Safety Committee and all of the employees that are here, because it was through their efforts and the implementation of the protocols that were required and their ability to follow those protocols that kept us from getting any worse than we were at the height of this pandemic.
And it was just a matter of tweaking it for their type of business and the number of people that they had. I think a lot of it had to do with building configurations. Some employers had larger spaces to work with, and other employers had not much space to work with. So distance is a huge thing in this situation. They understand they have to do something, but they're not really sure on what's going to be effective and how they're going to actually make it work. So that's really where we help, is in the actual implementation of the plan.
Change is tough, and there was resistance, but I think the resistance was the result of not understanding fully what it was we were trying to accomplish, and I'm not sure that anybody really knew. But they were a strong group, and over time, in a short period of time, they came to realize that this was to the benefit of everybody here at AEM, and everybody has complied ever since.
So how can we keep our employees apart? How can we do this? Well, what kind of controls can we put into place? Are they plexiglass screens, or is it distancing, or is it timing our breaks separately so that we can keep our numbers down, or is it putting a tent outside so that we can have certain parts of our process outside to give us more space? So I think a lot of the people know the answer, they just need to run it by someone to see if it makes sense.
So we had to make some modifications, add face shields instead of safety glasses in certain situations. Just shifted everything around a little.
When it all happened, we had to really quickly develop COVID protocols, personal protective equipment. We had to use masks and face shields, and we had to get employees comfortable with wearing these things, which was a challenge. We also needed to put barriers up in between lines.
That social distance aspect is quite hard, particularly in a shop floor scenario, where you've got guys that need to help lift parts together or just naturally have to work together. So a greater concentration on PPE and the use of hand cleaners, etc.
And those aren't always easy to engineer around when we need to physically distance workers, for instance, or bring in a control like a mask can be a little difficult. Just because we've worked on having that process to where it's at today. So we've kind of struggled with figuring out the best way to change our processes to both keep our workers safe and still make them be able to do their job.
One of the challenges of food processing and food manufacturing is a lot of the actual processes themselves involve people being in the same space close together or being part of an assembly line.
Let's say social distancing, cleaning schedules.
Now the benefit, I would guess, of being a food manufacturer is you're already somewhat of an expert in hygiene and you're already an expert in processes and SOPs. So you already have that knowledge base and those tools that you can draw on to expand your SOPs and processes.
Most organizations, they struggle with creating time for training, but at PFG, that is a different story. Like the organizational owners were very clear from the very beginning that we need to build a strong health and safety culture.
People may not realize training is expensive. You have to double up the people if you want to train thoroughly, if you want to verify comprehension. We don't save an effort, like we would train and train and train and retrain as we introduce new measures.
I've definitely felt safe coming to work, and I do know that other staff feel safe as well, looking after their own families and their own health too, but also the health of our guests, being front-facing with guests, that we have barriers in place, we have signage to make sure people are distanced apart.
In fact, throughout the business, whereby we staggered shift times, we staggered lunch breaks and coffee breaks, we provided staff the opportunity to work from home. We provided digital software to our salespeople as well as engineering and quality, so they could perform meetings right from the comfort of either their home or also through our building here, our business.
There are a lot of changes, a lot of new ways of doing business. I think that it really did improve some of our communication, because you could not make an assumption that someone knows what you're talking about when you don't see them. So we had to improve our daily meetings. We had to improve our communication deliberately, as opposed to when you're working in an office, sometimes it's by osmosis. You all meet, you all have the chit chat, you see someone down the hall. Well, you didn't have that ability to do that anymore. So we had to focus on direct communication in a new type of environment, which was challenging.
So we had to really adapt and move to online sales much more than we've ever done in the past. Anywhere from hosting online Zoom wine tastings to interesting packages through our e-commerce, engaging on social media more.
Over the last couple of years, we've really been building a safety culture and earning the trust of our staff. And so when we have controls that we put in for COVID, a lot of our staff bought in really quickly because we've built this program that shows that our program is to keep them safe and support them, and so we really didn't have a lot of pushback from our staff.
Once we were starting to ramp up production, getting ready for harvest, we had to bring in seasonal workers to meet the requirements and demands that we have. It was interesting. There was a lot of people afraid to travel, and a lot of our interns that we bring in into the cellar are traveling winemakers or traveling cellar crew. So we wanted to make sure that we had something in place before they came, so when people were applying for the jobs, they know that when they come here, they would be in a safe environment, they would be in an environment where they felt protected.
Our employees worked really well in terms of the changes. It was difficult though, because we were constantly changing. We would say one thing this week, next week we were changing direction. And it made it difficult, and this is where it was really important, because every 2 weeks I put out State of the Nation communications to the staff to give them updates of where we were with respect to all the protocols and procedures that we had to follow. The fact that we were deemed an essential service, given the fact that we were supplying product to the medical as well as the transportation markets. The transportation markets were very important and significant in terms of COVID relief because they would be transporting vaccines, food, water, so we had to stay open. So it required me to be here actually a lot more than I thought I would be. I'm a type A individual and I love my work, but I also love my employees too. And you know, I saw what the COVID pandemic was doing to a number of our employees.
The emotional impact was pretty quick, and you know, even for myself, I found myself dealing with emotions that I hadn't experienced in my career before. Just the uncertainty of, I have a small young family, you know, what would it mean if I brought something home to them, or what happens if they brought something home and I took it to work? What did it mean for our jobs and our financial security? What did it mean for our health and our health security?
One of the big challenges was my wife was working full time. We had one kid in daycare and one in school, elementary school, and my wife had to work from home, and the school was closed for a period of time, and she had to be a full-time mom, be a full-time teacher, and work full-time for her career, and it was just really taxing on her. And being in the production side of things, there's a lot of hands-on work, so there wasn't a lot of things I could do from home and help out and tag team on the child raising and the child care thing, so it all fell on her plate. And she came to me one day and she's like, I can't do it. She actually had to leave her job to be able to care for the kids and make sure things didn't get too crazy at home. And that was a hard hit for us because she's a professional woman and is very driven, career driven and career focused. So it was a big toll on her. And
so ultimately the biggest challenges in the beginning were just no one knew exactly what we were getting into.
So I don't think anyone was mentally prepared for this pandemic, but it could be anywhere. So that alone is mentally challenging to comprehend.
My greatest concern became for the mental health and welfare of our employees shortly after the realization of the pandemic set in, because I could see this was having a mental impact on a lot of people. Key people that I might have never thought this could have happened to was having a mental effect on these people. I was very concerned.
Yeah, with COVID-19, it was nerve-wracking to have a new, young family, being a first-time mom, and so it was very hard on our family way of connectedness in our community and our support systems because everything had to be reduced greatly. We don't have grandparents that are able to take care of our son very close by, and so like I had mentioned that there's a lot of times where one of us works in the morning at our job on location, and then we'll come home in the afternoon to take care of our son, and then the next person goes to work and then works for the remainder of the day. So sometimes really grateful for our employers for being really flexible and supportive through all of this. Because everyone's in the same boat essentially, right? And so, it's okay to go take care of your family and still do your job.
And the biggest problem that we actually have to manage with mental health is stigmatism, saying, I don't need to go for help, I'm a big tough guy. Right? You're a big tough guy, I don't need to go see someone because I'm stressed or because I'm depressed. But the problem is that the further you go down that hole, the tougher it is for you to get out.
I'm used to that human interaction. I'm used to being able to see, people's emotions and read their body language. And now I'm only seeing them from the neck up. And so I found that although working from home gave me a sense of life-work balance in some ways, because in some ways I was able to kind of shut it off at the end of the day. And I must admit, I had to start turning off the television. I had to start turning off the radio and stop listening to some of this stuff because it was getting in my head where I was becoming somewhat just negative about this is getting worse. The death toll, the impact of lives, the loss of jobs, and really wanted to make sure that impact didn't hit our world.
Not being able to be as social when you're wearing this PPE was definitely a challenge.
It adds another entire layer of something that can make your day difficult, and that's when you see workplace injuries, is when a worker is focused on something else, when they're distracted, when they're not fully present in their task. So when you add a complication like mental health, when you have to worry about your family, about your company, about your job personally, it just adds another hazard to every workplace in every task all the time. And I really, as a professional and in my personal life, found it really hard. I missed being around people, and I missed that opportunity to interact face to face without masks and see everyone's smiles.
One difficulty that we obviously had is communication, like to start communicating when half your face is covered. That presents a challenge, especially when you do training in a noisy environment. It's very, very difficult to communicate freely, express yourself, and make sure that the other person, the new employee, comprehends and fully understands. You are missing lots of the facial expression that in many ways lead you to understand and to see what's going on. We learned to work with it, but obviously that's something that we could not compromise.
And then the anxiety levels of employees was a tremendous challenge. Everybody was very concerned around the pandemic in general, but that was very difficult to manage. Just people's mental health has continued to be a challenge going forward.
And I think one of the major things that we did from a perspective from the company, we became very understanding to that stress level, and we accommodated as much as we could accommodate people to take time off from work. So there was a camaraderie between the employees as well.
Luckily, no one in my family or friendship have been really sick with COVID, and luckily no one at work has really been impacted either.
Yeah, when it comes to the safety of myself, but also our fellow employees, I really felt my personal experience being a little bit more elevated than the normal person having a compromised immune system. That it really made me be more aware, and also to lead by example of I want others to treat me the same way that I would like to be treated, and so I want the extra level of protection for myself and my family, and so I'm going to also give that to other people so they reciprocate it back to myself.
I felt pretty safe coming to work during the pandemic. They put a lot of measures in to help eliminate any things that might even be a concern.
One of the secret areas that was really tough to watch and manage was the mental health issues. That we had a lot of employees who I saw probably struggled a lot more than I thought they were struggling. And it was then we created what we called the Emergency Family Assistance Program. So through that benefit, our employees were able to access trained professionals to get counseling, to help them through these times, because these were unprecedented times that people struggled. They were always unsure what was happening with their job, with the future. And that was part of my job, to make sure they knew from me that they were secure, they were safe, they had a job, and they were going to be coming back day after day after day to do the job that I needed them to do. You would see different behavior from the employees. You know what type of, how they would do their work, how diligent they were, and all of a sudden they weren't as diligent, they were forgetting things, they were missing things.
The learnings that we've had, and I think many will carry through, especially the mental health, in terms of being able to really integrate programs that address that, because it's a critical component.
One of the peers told us that they had gone and had training with respect to mental health, and this was one of the things that she stated. And so I was able to take that information and relay it back to our people here to see if they needed more help, because we were just thinking that our employee was just not doing a good job. Well, it wasn't that at all. It was the fact that they were struggling through the COVID pandemic, like all of us were.
But try and loosen up where we can, if we can, in the workplace, to make the employees feel good about being here. And as I said, the one message that kept on coming back to us is that the employees felt that this is the safest place to be in, because we, if I may say, because we were so rigid about it.
We've taken it very seriously, and for the right reasons. We don't want anyone coming to work if they're sick, and so therefore our staff have taken it very seriously as well, and they're doing the right thing, but it's finding that balance of accommodation and still being able to keep up with our customer and our production and business demand.
For us, the best thing that we could do as safety leaders was to make sure our doors were open to talk, to make sure that we kept an eye out for the signs of, people struggling with mental health. And there is so much research going on now on how difficult dealing with mental health is, and with the federal government adding psychological safety as a part of the mandate as an employer, it just adds another avenue where we can help our staff, where we can show them that we care.
It's hidden. You don't always see a lot of the things the struggles that people are going through. And obviously having an open door policy is really important, that you can express to people if you have issues, that please bring them forward.
We put up posters, we had meetings to explain what it was for. We had a lot of benefits in place that we never really used, Then the pandemic happened, and all of a sudden that's what that's good for, or that's what that we can use. And so we've always had an open door policy, and I just, again, doubled down on all those messages, made sure staff knew they could come and talk to me, not just at work, but call me at night, take advantage of any kind of communication wherever you feel comfortable. And I had quite a few conversations with staff outside of normal hours, just to help them, either traverse the benefits or just to talk, just to say hi.
Making sure that we're always thinking about mental anxiety in the workplace, which is getting more and more challenging. Aside from COVID, mental wellness is a key contributor to problems in the world today, and I think that's one of the takeaways we're going to take from COVID, is to continue to manage that side.
I think COVID made us all take a step back and reevaluate, just how we did work, how much time we worked. I mean, certainly working from home, shifting and moving all of our staff to an at-home environment was kind of unreal. I've never been in that environment before, where all of our staff were now working remotely. There's so many different things you have to think about and prepare for and provide leadership on it.
I think we've all come to work when we've had a cold. We've all come to work when we haven't felt our best. Changing our habits to stay home when we're sick and not transmit any illness to each other. So I'll say that is one, I think, that we've all learned, that it's okay to stay home. And our hybrid work model, I would say that we've learned as an organization, there are things that we can do better, in adopting a hybrid work model, of reaching out to our members and accessing more of them through a virtual connection.
COVID's really taught us that no program is perfect, and that we aren't able to foresee every single hazard that'll ever come up. And so instead of reacting to any specific hazard, instead we teach our staff how to make sure that when they do a task, do a job of any kind, that they're doing it the safest way possible, and then they're able to adapt as different hazards come up, anything that we can't foresee like COVID.
We've learned a lot in this rapid digitalization age of connecting people, of training people, of enabling those that couldn't necessarily afford the time.
Ensure our first and foremost obligation is the safety of our employees. How do we make sure they stay safe on one hand? On the other hand, that they are comfortable working, communication, open communication and transparency all along. Provide as much details as you can, and get the employees involved and believing in what we are doing.
Ensuring that people are keeping safe all the time. Something which we're going to keep on implementing in the future.
We were, of course, nervous that we wouldn't see the same kind of numbers come through the tasting room. And we were very surprised that our local support has been tremendous, that we've seen people over and over again. People came out to really make sure that we were supported, and that was really great to see.
It's changed our planning, it's changed what we can look forward to, and what most of which is out of our control, which has been challenging. You look at the sacrifices that has been made, everyone has sacrificed something.
Everyone just did their own sacrifice, and also to help the company survive during this pandemic.
And there are a few different things I would say. If I had to pick one thing that I would say I'm most proud of, is the fact that we managed to keep the disease out of our operations. We did have a different wing of our organization that had one COVID positive case. But even then, there was no transmissions within the organization.
One thing that has really made me proud of our team over this last year is just our resilience and our innovation, which innovation is actually one of our key values here at the Monte Creek Winery. And we just really looked for ways how we could continue to obviously be open and working, but just to also have that elevated experience that yes, we're in a pandemic.
So it's all of us together, we as one team, and our employees giving all those feedbacks to us. That's what made us like, we work together and then one team, and I'm always proud to say this, and I'm saying this again. As of today, no positive cases at all in our brewery.
I think that, you know, we've shown our staff that our safety team trusts them to make the right decision, and that not only does their behavior affect themselves, but also all of their coworkers. And having such a strong team, it's pretty easy to have our staff do the right thing and take care and be stewards of their own safety. You know, when we're not around, when we're not there to enforce, you know, we've shown that we trust them enough to make the right decision. There's been so many challenges, there's been so many difficult situations that have come out of the blue, not things that we were anticipating. And the thing that I think that I'm the most proud of with our safety program is that we were able to stay the course.
I think basically every single, from HR perspective, every single employee who was coming to work during the last year is a hero. Because, you know, you can freak out and stay home. Instead, they all came to work and they supported company, they supported, you know, each other.
My heroes are our employees that kept showing to work. They are not the ones that probably are seen in the public eye.
I'm definitely looking forward to, you know, life post-pandemic, that I would love to be around family and friends a lot. I want that for my new family as well, my son, to have those connections.
I would imagine 10, 20 years from now, when I'm looking back at this experience, I will almost in a way be thankful for a lot of it, because what it really made me realize is the importance of relationships. I had, not that I didn't, you know, give what I thought I needed to, but what I didn't realize was, you know, working from home for the first time in my career, I could say bye to my children before they went to school.
It's just an extraordinary time for them to be able to achieve all of this, in continuing to move forward with their business, to enable it to survive and thrive.
My own experience through all this and bringing that to work has helped me to understand what other people are going through as well, because it wasn't easy for us.
Just got together, formed a task force, and just did amazing things to keep the company going and to keep everybody safe. I'm so proud to work there.
You know, character is what you do when no one's looking. That they were liable to their coworkers to make sure that safety was not only something they did at work, but it was something that they took home with them as well.
Do I think we'll merge as a stronger company? Completely. We've already done that. That we've been able to dive deeper into, you know, who we are, what we're doing, and why we're doing it.
Instead, it was a whole team effort. It really was, and that was worth it to me.
I want to give a special recognition to all the unseen heroes and to all the participants in this video. I know our team was hard at work to pull this together, and really just enjoyed everyone sharing and showing us all the efforts behind the scenes, you know, through this pandemic. And I just really want to give a huge thanks to all of those people that worked so hard through this pandemic to keep all of our lives safe and to keep our food services going and all these businesses going. So thank you again to all of our unseen heroes. Enjoy the show. Thank you all for joining us for this premiere and for your parts in the production. This has been an extraordinary year, and it's been our honor to share your stories. Hi, everyone. I'm Wayne Aronis, the Chief Operating Officer for the Manufacturing Safety Alliance and your host for tonight's awards program. As we begin these awards presentations, I'd like to welcome Lisa McGuire back to the podium.
Thank you for joining us tonight for the 2021 Safety Pinnacle Awards. We're here this evening to celebrate you for your achievements in an exceptionally challenging year. The pandemic has tested our endurance, strength, patience, leadership, and humanity, bringing out the best and most challenging in us at times, leaving a deep impression of what is truly important and valued, our health, safety, and well-being. Without these essential criteria, everything stops. Our economy, freedom, and the connections that we so depend on as social beings. While some companies made the difficult decision to defer their journey to OC certification in 2020, our team at the Manufacturing Safety Alliance of BC saw others rise to the top, together with their teams, to achieve a milestone that represents the value embodied in this standard, to protect their most valued, their people. And we've seen powerful results when employers across BC were able to leverage their OC-certified health and safety systems to pivot and adapt quickly. With a mature health and safety program in place, they were well positioned to assess the risk and strengthen controls to keep their people safe and operations running successfully in an ever-changing, risk-filled environment. Your ongoing commitment to health and safety excellence is extraordinary, and we congratulate you tonight. We are pleased to open the awards presentation tonight by introducing the 2021 recipients of our 2 student awards. An annual award in honor of esteemed former board chair Deneen Skilling. The Deneen Skilling Scholarship in Occupational Health and Safety Studies supports a post-secondary student pursuing a career in health and safety.
Thank you, Lisa, for that introduction. The 2021 Deneen Skilling Scholarship in OHS Studies goes to kinesiologist and BCIT OHS student, Jonathan Kumm. Jonathan, please join me at the podium.
Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Jonathan.
So I just wanted to say thank you to the Manufacturing Safety Alliance for this award. It is a great honor. As someone who is inspired to make workplaces psychologically and physically healthier, it is a great feeling to be recognized by such a renowned organization. I also wanted to say I just thank you to BCIT for having such a great OHS program. I've learned a lot in my first year, but I know I have a lot to learn until I graduate in the spring. So again, thank you for the award. It will go a long way in supporting me throughout my schooling, and I hope everyone stays safe.
Thank you again, Jonathan. I know many people throughout BC are alumni or current students of BCIT, including myself, a former student and instructor. BCIT continues to be an educational leader, providing real work skills that help students get jobs and advance their skills. Thanks again, Jonathan, and congratulations on a job well done. Call me when you graduate. To introduce our second student award, over to you, Lisa.
The loss of Julie Cole in 2019 left a hole in the safety community of British Columbia. An external auditor for the Manufacturing Safety Alliance of BC and health and safety manager and trainer. Julie was a vital member of our safety community. A new $500 bursary in her honor supports a student who shares Julie's passion for occupational health and safety.
Truly tragic event, but Julie's memory will live on through this bursary. The inaugural recipient of the Julie Cole Bursary, currently pursuing an OHS diploma at BCIT and looking ahead towards a master's in occupational environmental hygiene, Morteza Mazawi. Morteza, I invite you to the podium.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you, Wayne. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for nominating me for the Julie Cole Award. I'm honored to actually be in this program at BCIT. Occupational Health and Safety is a great program, and I want to make sure that I can present myself to the industry accordingly. I want to thank, of course, Manufacturing Safety Alliance for picking me, giving me this opportunity. I want to thank BCIT as well. It's been such a great pleasure to be a part of this program, and I can't wait to meet everyone in person, hopefully when the pandemic is over. Thank you so much, Wayne.
Thank you again for joining us. I love your backdrop better than mine. Both of our student award winners this year are enrolled at BCIT's excellent OHS program. We are excited that once again, BCIT has cleared their schedule to make it possible for their OHS students to take part in our virtual Make It Safe conference at the end of this month. We invite all of you to join us and meet more of tomorrow's safety professionals at Make It Safe 2021. Congratulations to both of our student recipients. And now I'll pass it back over to you, Lisa.
Congratulations to our student award recipients, and thank you, Wayne. In the Pinnacle journey, each level recognizes a caliber of excellence that demonstrates a significant accomplishment. On the Pinnacle journey, organizations see continual improvement and the development of a strong safety culture, transforming their health and safety system into a way of life. We're excited to recognize your important milestones in the journey tonight.
With the Topaz Award this year, we celebrate the extraordinary commitment of 5 companies who stayed the course in their journey despite the added challenges of the pandemic, building health and safety programs that successfully challenged the OC audit to earn the Occupational Health and Safety Standard of Excellence. This significant company achievement that requires commitment at all levels of the organization. And so I'd like to congratulate all of our Topaz Award recipients tonight. E-Cycle Solutions, Layfield Canada, Kettle River Brewing, Hercules SLR, and Heavy Toyo Pumps. Congratulations to you all. We're excited to have Keeson with us to join us from E-Solutions tonight. And we'll hear from Toyo Pumps, who sent us a pre-recorded message as they were not able to be here in person tonight. Isan, welcome to the podium.
Hi, hello everyone. This is Asan with E-Cycle Solutions. It's absolutely an honor to receive this award on behalf of E-Cycle Solutions, especially Chilliwack facility. It's been a challenge for us, and there has been efforts to put in year over year to achieve this award. And without hard working of our team members and supervisors, and without the support of our head office, we couldn't achieve this, of course. And I appreciate Safety Alliance as well for all the supports and recognition, for sure. And just at the end, I'm really proud of my team members, and we look forward and we aim for greater achievements. Thank you.
Thank you, Isan, for sharing that with us. Now we'll watch a short clip from Toyo Pumps.
Hey everyone, it's Brienne here from Heavy Pumps. We're honored to accept the Topaz Safety Pinnacle Award from MSABC. The journey towards OSSE is an accomplishment in itself, and it took our entire team's efforts to get it. We're especially proud of our 98% audit score and the fact that our safety culture is better than it's ever been. We know that OSSE is a continuous journey, and we look forward to developing it over the years and seeing you for years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brienne and Toyo Pumps. Back to Lisa for the Sapphire Award.
Congratulations, everyone. The Sapphire Award recognizes the importance of leaders as the critical decision makers with an important impact on their occupational health and safety system and their people. This award is provided to companies where the company's senior executive has demonstrated commitment to health and safety. With the transition of the BC Safety Charter to the Executive Health and Safety Council of BC, the Sapphire Award for 2021 and beyond will be based on a new set of criteria to recognize the ongoing executive commitment to health and safety education and leadership in OSI certified companies.
Thank you, Lisa. I'd like to congratulate all of our Sapphire Award recipients tonight. Hercules SLR Inc., Dynaflex, Viking Air, and Greek Seafood. I'd like to congratulate all of you. We're happy tonight to have Mark Bunce with us from Dynaflex, Tina Gonski from Greek Seafood, and Kelsey McLaughlin from Viking Air. Mark, Tina, Kelsey, I'd like to welcome you to the podium. Good evening. Kelsey, maybe you could receive the award on behalf of your company.
You bet, Wayne. I have seen Viking Safety Program evolve from a what do we legally have to do to be compliant mindset to what is the world-class standard and how can we implement it mindset. So this award tonight is a physical symbol of this continuous journey that we're on, and it is a privilege and an honor to accept the Sapphire Award on behalf of Viking Air. And onwards to Emerald.
I like it. Kelsey, thank you to all of you at Viking Air. Congratulations.
Thanks, Wayne.
Mark, I'm going to put you right in the middle here. How would you like to accept your award for Dynaflex? Hello, Mark.
Go to Tina.
Okay, having a little technical difficulties. Over to Tina.
Well, hello. Greek Seafood is just so honored to receive this Sapphire Award for leadership commitment to work in health and safety. I'm proud to be a part of a team that works so hard to create a culture where employees' safety is our main priority. At Greek, we all agree to become part of something important, to create a habit of safety excellence. We are committed to safety because we are committed to our workers' health, wellness, and most important, we are committed to their future. We care for our people and want to ensure that workers come home safe and healthy at the end of every single workday. Together, we make great progress in protecting the health and safety of our workers. I consider this award a reflection of our safety commitment and our hard work across the organization, including our executive leaders, managers, supervisors, but most importantly, the workers for their support and dedication every single day. The best way to enhance safety is to work together. I am honored to accept this award on behalf of Greek Seafoods. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tina. And congratulations to all of you at Greek Seafood.
Thank you.
Mark, I'm going to go back to you. A few words from you, Mark, would be great.
Hi, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to accept this award on behalf of our ownership group, leadership team, and all of our employees. The Sapphire Award recognizes our organization's commitment to health and safety, as well as our ongoing efforts to continually develop, innovate, and evolve our safety program and indeed our overall safety culture. For the past 8 years, our leadership team and our managers have accepted ownership of that culture. We know full well that an absolute safety culture is built through trust, empowerment, and investment. Safety above all, our number one and most important core value, means we continue to invest in our people, our processes, our equipment, customized automation, and training. We continue to foster an environment that empowers all our employees to make decisions to help us achieve the number one goal of sending everyone home to their families at the end of every day, exactly how they arrived. I'd like to take a moment to thank the real heroes in our organization, my leadership team, our Joint Occupational and Health and Safety Committee, and all our employees for their efforts and resolve in this commitment to safety journey. At times it can be challenging, but we understand and accept the fact that there is no finish line. It is indeed our most important continuum. I would also like to thank the Safety Alliance for their leadership, guidance, and support. To Lisa and the entire MSA team, past and present, I'm really not sure where we would be without you. So thank you for all you do. Thanks, everyone.
Fantastic, Mark, and it really can show the leadership here from all three of you. So Tina, Mark, and Kelsey, thank you so much for sharing with us, and congratulations on your awards and recognition. Back over to you, Lisa.
At the close of the program, we'll present the 2021 Ben Hume Leadership Award, recognizing a leader for nurturing a culture that supports health and safety excellence, a leader whose actions demonstrate the value of people in their businesses with empathy, perseverance, and humility. I congratulate all the nominees for their success in earning this recognition of their exemplary leadership. This evening, we're pleased to be able to give you a glimpse inside the remarkable businesses of our three finalists, beginning with Dan Conkin, CEO of AMCO Manufacturing in Coquitlam.
Safety actually drives our business because as long as our employees know that they are working in a safe environment and they have the trust of the management, it goes such a long way. They feel empowered by doing things that will protect other people. And what that does is it allows us to have better productivity, better quality, and happier employees. My name is Dan Conkin. I'm the president of AMCO Manufacturers and AMCO Graphics. I am a part of the company's Health and Safety Committee. I'm on that committee because I'm very passionate of what we do every day in terms of meeting the safety needs of all of our employees. We meet monthly and we go through all the issues within the company in terms of what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. We have company picnics. And when I go to the company picnic, we have up to 100 employees coming to that picnic with their families. And it's so important for our employees to embrace that safety culture at the company. So they go home in the fact that they're safe and they can be with their families. The role in leadership that I see is you have to empower the employees and allow them that they get the trust of knowing that management is going to be able to be there for them and to be able to make decisions that are always in the best interests of the employee. Well, safety is our number one priority in our company. It's one of our core values. My role is to lead our people and our staff to be able to feel empowered where they can make decisions on the floor or anywhere in the building to stop a process if they feel that we're not following proper safety protocols and procedures. They are definitely looking for that little edge to be a better company. We are always looking for, of course, faster delivery. We're always looking for better quality. We're always looking for lower prices. But the most important thing is the biggest asset, and I know it's a commonly used term, but our employees are really the greatest assets we have. They're the ones that drive our business, drive our sales, drive our profits. I'm a type A individual, and I love my work. And I do walkabouts every day. That is the best way to learn what's going on. And I do know all the employees' names. I talk to them. I want to know what's going on with their life, their work. and I want to know what we can do to help them in terms of making it a better workplace. I was honored to be nominated for the Ben Hume Award. I know Ben, and I know his commitment to safety, and to be put in the same league with Ben, it was just overwhelming. It really was.
The Emerald Award recognizes OC certified companies whose commitment to health and safety performance results in a lower injury rate than their peers within their classification unit. This means that they are experiencing fewer injuries in comparison with similar companies. This is the value of the OC journey, the meaningful outcomes that ultimately result in bringing more workers home to their families safely. Tonight we recognize 2 companies with Emerald Pinnacle Award status.
It's the best emerald tie I have. Thank you, Lisa. Congratulations to our Emerald Award recipients, Magnum Trailers and Viking Air. This is a tremendous achievement. Kelsey from Viking Air, would you like to join me back on the podium? You're back. Congratulations.
That felt quick.
It did. Well, welcome.
Thank you so much. We've really seen commitment from our leadership team, and it really sometimes needs champions from the very top to be able to implement big, robust budgets for safety and for training, and to take it seriously, and not just be something that's put on the side of someone's desk. So we have seen an incredible commitment right from the C-suite all the way down to everyone in the organization. And it's now really officially part of the work culture. And it took a while to get there, but we are so proud that we have it and that we have this wonderful award to also accept to show for it.
Excellent. Well, thank you again. And I was surprised you didn't get distracted in the background there.
Three little kids running around.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, and congratulations to you and everyone at Viking Air.
Thanks, Wayne.
Lisa, please introduce the next Pinnacle Award level.
The 4th level in the Pinnacle Awards series, the Ruby Award, recognizes companies that have continued to meet the criteria for all of the previous levels and improved their safety experience performance rating by 10% over a period of 3 years after certification. This shows the emergence of a culture where health and safety is embedded into the very DNA of the business, with extraordinary results. This evening, we're pleased to congratulate 3 Ruby recipients.
Thank you, Lisa. I'd like to congratulate our Ruby Award recipients tonight. Can Rim Packaging, Andrew Peller, Gate Gourmet Canada, and Cisco Canada, the Victoria Division. Congratulations to all of you. We're opening up the podium for a few speeches, so I'd like to welcome Kirk Monroe from Gate Gourmet and Che Wei from Cisco Canada. Please join me at the podium.
Hello. On behalf of Gate Gourmet Vancouver, we're honored to receive the Pinnacle Ruby Award from the Manufacturing Safety Alliance. The Ruby Award provides valued recognition of the focus on safety our team has maintained throughout what has been a very tough year in the airline transportation industry. Our certification has helped guide our health and safety initiatives through these times. Gate Gourmet looks forward to many more years of working with the Safety Alliance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kirk, and congratulations to you guys. Che.
Hello, how's it going?
Very good.
First off, I want to thank the Safety Manufacturing Alliance for the recognition in this award. This award means a lot to all of us at Cisco, especially Cisco Victoria, as we put this as a top priority. This is truly a collaboration of everyone on our team, as everyone's efforts from the leadership to each associate play a huge part in the success of obtaining these targets. Each day, we start with a pre-shift meeting, both day and night. At those meetings, we have a safety topic that we discuss to keep safety at the top of the mind every day that we go to work. We have a joint health and safety committee that meets regularly to discuss any old items, any new items, making sure all the loops are closed and nothing gets missed. This team also inspects the building on a monthly basis, and we always take around a different associate from all the different levels to make sure that we have a fresh set of eyes, seeing anything that may become complacent and that we may miss. The main thing at our facility is that we all care for one another. Everybody enjoys going home, and we want to make sure everybody gets home safely to their families, because that's really what it's all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Che, and thanks for joining us. Both Kirk and Che, congratulations on your award tonight. In the past 25 years, I've managed many manufacturing facilities throughout North America, and I know firsthand how challenging it is to remain vigilant and committed to improving safety programs and the culture within a company. It's very important to acknowledge and celebrate this hard work and dedication and the pursuit to excellence. Again, congratulations to all of our Safety Award winners. This is truly amazing work. Our second finalist for the Ben Hume Leadership Award, to be presented later in the program, is Brian Wall, CEO of Anodyne Electronics Manufacturing. Here is a look inside Brian's Kelowna business.
People have to want to do what it is that needs to be done. And I like to think that it's people's commitment every day to show up for work and to be safe and work hard and be able to go home at the end of that day. My name is Brian Wall. I'm the CEO of Anodyne Electronic Manufacturing. My association with the Safety Alliance was really through the Executive Health and Safety Council of BC. And so we embarked through consult of the Safety Alliance and the Executive Health and Safety Council on a core certification program. My safety journey probably began a long time ago when I was real young and I became a commercial pilot, and it was through that learning that I became much more aware of the component of safety, certainly as it relates to the safety of flight. I mean, we had checklists for checklists, but I also had the opportunity to learn a lot more about safety as a member of the RCMP Auxiliary years ago, and prior to receiving our badge, so 6 months worth of training, really drilled down into safety as it related to preservation of life. Health and safety are pillars of any successful organization, I believe. I believe it's part of your culture that people need to live and breathe. We include absolutely everybody in the topic of safety because really it is everybody's job. It's not just mine, but it starts with us as leaders, and we have to set that example. But everybody here at AEM has been instrumental in where we are today. And so communication to me is something I learned early on is vital. It doesn't have to be an extraordinary event to be communicated. Communicate at all times. We measure everything that takes place in the workplace, and we look for trends, and through that group of people we try to implement corrective actions to prevent reoccurrence of any trends that might be. It's all about providing an environment where people know that their organization is looking out for them, they're listening to them, they're taking action where action needs to be taken, and their voices are heard. I was mystified when I got the call from George Higgins that I had become a nominee for such an award, and I was taken aback by it. And then I kind of wondered, well, how did I get here? And it was then that it just kind of hit me, and it's really the recognition of all the people here at AEM. They have made AEM who they are when it comes to health and safety in the workplace itself. So it's really a tip of the hat to all the employees at AEM. They're truly a fabulous bunch. I just get to accept that on behalf of all of them.
The 2021 Safety Excellence Awards recognize the teamwork, dedication, and innovation of companies who took steps in an exceptional year to assess and redesign production facilities, policies, and controls to keep their team safe. Thank you all of our nominees for sharing your inspiring health and safety achievements. Our first awards this evening are the Small Business People First Award. The award recognizes a member organization that goes above and beyond regulatory requirements to make a positive impact in the workplace culture and demonstrated leadership. This award is presented by our partners, the BC Food and Beverage, a non-for-profit organization that represents BC's food and beverage manufacturers. Tonight, the 2021 Small Business People First Award goes to Monty Creek. Congratulations, Monty Creek. Jesse Steinley joins us today from Monty Creek Winery. Jesse, I'd like to welcome you to join us and take a moment on the podium. Welcome, Jesse.
Thanks for having me. This is exciting, and just want to thank you guys for Manufacturer Safety Alliance for what you do, and the leadership you guys give, and instruction you can give us. I want to thank Lauren, who's our safety representative as well. He's been a great resource for me. This has been my first chance at being part of a safety committee, joint health and safety committee, and yeah, we like to send everybody home safe at the end of the day, and part of that is just creating policies and creating an environment that people can do that. So that's all I got. Thanks.
No problem. Jesse, we love you. We really love you.
Good. I'm glad.
Thank you so much, Jesse, and congratulations to all of you at Monty Creek.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next award of the night is the Fantastic Four Risk Control Leader Award, which recognizes a company for implementing leading solutions in 3 key manufacturing areas and demonstrating leadership in integrating health and safety into their business and culture. And the winner of the Fantastic Four Risk Control Leader Award is CKF. Congratulations. Amit Golan joins us today from CKF. And Amit, I'd like to welcome you to the podium just to share a few words on your extraordinary work.
Thank you, Wayne. This is a great honor good evening. It's a great honor for CKF to be on the podium tonight. Thank you very much, MSA, for all the help throughout recent 18 months or 20 months and prior to that. Last 24 months been unique, to say the least. At CKF, we produce egg trays and meat trays, servicing 70% of these products in Canada. You touch our products every day. Obviously, we had to stay open and produce all the time. You cannot manufacture that from home. And as mentioned, our heroes are our employees. My heroes are also our managers and our Josh committee and safety manager who led us through this. So I wish to thank each one of our 350 employees here in the West Coast for their cooperation and for all along, working closely all along and getting us through this. Most important, with it, I wish to thank the team at MSA for helping us time and again with many challenges we were facing. Wayne, Lisa, and the rest of the team there that have been with us, Hussein, Jasmine, have been with us. I almost said that you had an office in our place, always welcome and doing a fantastic job. So thank you all very, very much on behalf of all of us at CKF.
Thank you, Meet. No extra charge for that. And cheers to, thank you for the mug. I appreciate that. All the congratulations to all of you at CKF, and a lot of hard work there for sure by your team, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The Manufacturing Safety Innovator Award recognizes a company for innovation in OHS management systems, health and safety training, wellness programs, and culture. This award is proudly sponsored by TexMed, the leader in Canadian disability management and associate member to the Alliance and a valued partner. The 2021 Safety Innovator Award goes to Molson Coors. Congratulations. Hema is with us here tonight from Molson Coors. And Hema, I'd like to welcome you to the podium to say a few words on behalf of your team.
Wow. Thank you. First of all, before I start, I want to thank the Safety Alliances for this beautiful conference. It's beautiful. I'm really honored to receive this award on behalf of Molson Coors. This is actually dedicated to every single one of our employees at Molson Coors for sure. Every day we are living our value of putting people first, keeping ourselves safe and everyone safe at Molson Coors. So thank you so much. We are very much honored.
Thank you very much, Hema.
Wow, look at that.
I appreciate that, So, okay, and congratulations to you and your team. Thank you for keeping us going strong. All right.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.
That is beautiful.
I had to balance that.
Wow.
Safety first. Okay. Tonight, the Joint Health and Safety Excellence Award recognizes a company safety committee for excellence above and beyond regulatory requirements, making a positive impact on the workplace culture with demonstrated team leadership. The Alliance associate member and partner, HR West Consulting, is proud to sponsor this award, as they know that the hard work it takes to have a successful health and safety committee is often seen repeated at the same organization in the form of great human resources and labor relations results. The 2021 Joint Health and Safety Committee Excellence Award goes to PFG Glass. They beat me. PFG Glass was unable to be with us here today, but I want to wish them a sincere congratulations for winning this award. PFG Glass has made a huge training priority, and their safety committee is a huge part of that. So again, congratulations to PFG Glass. I want to take another moment to congratulate all of our 2021 Safety Excellence Award nominees and winners. Nominations for the 2022 Safety Excellence Awards will be open at the Make It Safe site October 28th, and we hope you'll all take the opportunity to nominate your teams for these prestigious awards. And now I'd like to invite Lisa again to share an exciting announcement.
This year, we're excited to announce a new award in the Safety Excellence Series. This one recognizing an individual in a member organization for exceptional commitment, passion, dedication, and action in support of health and safety. Enabling health and safety to come to life in any organization takes a champion, and this award shines a light on one such individual for recognition. While we invite you, beginning next year, to nominate a member of one of your teams for the 2021 recipient of the new Apex Award, we have chosen to recognize departing Alliance Board Chair, Jason Longden. Jason served the Alliance and our members for 2 3-year terms as an active member of our Board of Directors, and in 2020, as the world was reeling at the beginning of the pandemic, volunteered to step into the role of interim board chair for a 7th year of service and leadership. Jason, for your exceptional commitment and dedication to service and advocacy in support of health and safety for the manufacturing and food processing sector, you are an inspiration for this new award, and it is my pleasure to recognize you as its inaugural recipient.
Thank you for this award, Jason. Oh, sorry. Congratulations, Jason. Please come up and accept this inaugural award on behalf of the Alliance. Congratulations. It's heavy. Jason, I think we just need to check your audio.
Can you hear me now?
And there we are. Congratulations, yeah. Jason.
Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you, that's all anymore.
Okay.
Wow, I'm like humbled, beyond humbled. I miss you guys so much. It's been, obviously we're very, very busy, you know, growing the company at Fine Choice. And so it's certainly allowed me to focus on the business stuff that I need to do, but I miss the Alliance dreadfully and miss all you guys and talking to Lisa every week and talking to you, Wayne, regularly. And I'm kind of speechless, maybe for the first time ever. I'm humbled and I'm completely speechless by this. So thank you to the Alliance for 7 amazing years, and you haven't got rid of me that easily. I'm on the nominations committee now and helping out with a few other things. So yeah, it's incredible. You can see I'm still at the office, still working away, and trying to make the province safer all the time. So yeah, I'm blown away. I really don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Jason, I want to acknowledge you for the time you served on the board and certainly working with you. We really enjoyed your leadership and your advocacy on behalf of many manufacturers throughout the province. And so again, this award is well in your hands. And thank you again for all that you did for the Alliance and for manufacturers in the province. So congratulations, and I guess I'm going to send this back over to Lisa for one more time.
Our last award this evening is the Ben Hume Leadership Award. In 2022, the Ben Hume Leadership Award will move over to our sister organization, the Executive Health and Safety Council of BC. The Crystal Eagle Trophy will stay with us at the Alliance in the form of a new Executive Leadership Award, the Soaring Eagle Award, to be presented to an executive leader or business owner who demonstrates exemplary and inspiring leadership that includes a commitment to health and safety. Why the eagle? For centuries, people have seen eagles as a symbol of beauty, bravery, courage, honor, pride, determination, and grace. This bird is important and symbolic because of characteristics closely associated with leadership, which include a powerful vision and being fearless, tenacious, high flyers that nurture their young. Challenges in the life of a leader are many. Like the eagle, leaders can only rise to greater heights if they take up the challenges head on without running away from them. How they tackle those challenges and the impact on the people they're responsible for protecting define their leadership. I look forward to opening this new award to nominees in 2022.
You are the wind beneath my wings. The Soaring Eagle Award. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Lisa. We now have a third Ben Hume finalist video to share. And here's a look inside Nanaimo's business of Don Beta, CEO of FM Installations.
Our last award this evening is the Ben Hume Leadership.
We're always in a situation of growth and changing conditions. You have to plan for safety. You execute with safety. The game's afoot. We always have to be ready. My name is Don Beta. I'm the CEO of F&M Installations. It's my mandate to ensure that we all are walking that same path. Mentoring, involvement in safety meetings, involving in hazard assessments. Every one of us here at FMI have to be involved with safety. It's part of our daily activity. It starts with risk assessments that we generate before we even hit the field. With that, it's our primary tool to communicate what the major risks are in the projects and what steps that we're using to control those risks on those projects. How that gets communicated out to the guys that are physically doing the work is the key component, and that key component is communication. So I was first introduced to the Executive Health and Safety Council of BC about 6 years ago. And ever since that, I've tried to make it to every single meeting that they put on. There's a huge wealth of information of people in the similar roles, running organizations, having similar challenges, and the solutions are very similar. Even if it's in manufacturing or if it's in construction, we're dealing with risks and how to mitigate risks and how to communicate. About 10 years ago, we brought in one safety manager that was a teacher, was a mentor, was a communicator, was someone that could really lean in to the workforce, not from a safety cop point of view, but more from a colleague. And then from there, we'd hit the road and have workshops and try to communicate one-on-one with people why safety is important. And the biggest thing that turned the corner in regards to safety was, one worker talking to another, how to be safe. There was something that I always said during that period of time, and it was, you cannot not influence. And what I found is I can influence you in a positive way or a negative way. And that's made a huge difference of one person saying, hey, you're at risk in this, you should do it this way. Or a positive way, you are tied off, you are working safe, continue it. When that new guy comes on, pass that on to him. So that has made a huge difference.
Don, I bug him because he's an engineer, and engineers have this reputation of being analytical to the point where I remember I would come by his office in the morning and all he'd have is columns of numbers. I said, well, Don, what about the people? What about the people? Where is it? He said, well, your number is right here. I'm tracking your number here. I saw him grow, spent a lot of time learning about how to get his nose out of the numbers and deal with people. It's been really quite enjoyable watching him progress, and I've got nothing but the utmost respect for Don.
I kind of looked at it as, well, there's a lot of people within my organization that I see that probably deserve this award more than I do. I was a little surprised. I'm just trying to do what I can. I see safety is not one person. I see it as a whole group of people. There's pockets of leaders, and those leaders, are able to influence other people. But I see the benefit on how communicating this type of thing to other companies and to my own people is important.
This award's namesake and inaugural recipient, BC business leader Ben Hume, carried his passion for building safe workplaces throughout his career. His influence in business and community grew. He continued to champion his belief that safe workplaces are a direct result of company owners and executives making commitment to promote a culture of safety. Congratulations to all three of our finalists. All three of their final videos will be available on the Alliance website and YouTube. And we invite you to share their stories. Once again, the three finalists for the Ben Hume Award are Brian Wall, Anodyne Electronics Manufacturing, Don Beta from FM Installations, and Dan Conkin from AMCO Manufacturing. Many congratulations to all the 2021 finalists and of the Ben Hume Leadership Award. And now here it is. The award goes to Brian Wall from Anodyne Electronics Manufacturing. Congratulations. Please come to the podium to say a few words on behalf of your company and team, Brian.
Wow, thank you very much. This is incredibly humbling and the first ever such award for AEM. I'm the lucky guy who gets to accept this recognition, but those who made this possible are all of those incredible folks I get to work with every day. These are truly some of the finest people I've had the pleasure of working with, and I'm really fortunate. I was told early on in my career by a mentor of mine that a leader's success is influenced significantly by his or her ability to surround themselves with people better than themselves. And I think I've done a pretty good job of that, as is evidenced here in the recognition of this award here today. But I've also had the good fortune of working with so many of you in the Executive Health and Safety Council of BC and the Manufacturing Safety Alliance, and yes, Ben Hume. And these relationships have also been pivotal in my development as a leader. So on behalf of everybody at AEM, the Alliance, the Health and Safety Council, Ben Hume, thank you to everybody. I continue to learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. Congratulations to you and your team. A well-deserved award. I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed our presentation of the Safety Pinnacle Awards for 2021. We want to offer a tremendous thanks to all of our sponsors this evening: TexMed, HR West, BC Food and Beverage, and a big thank you to Shindig for hosting our event on this platform this evening. I want to give a congratulations to all the award nominees, the recipients for outstanding achievements in an exceptional year. And all of tonight's videos will be available on the Alliance website. We hope you visit and share the programming with your teams and colleagues. I want to pause for a moment and also thank our team. Without them, the work that we do would just never get done. They work tirelessly to reach our members, develop our programs. They're here tonight making me look okay. And I honestly can't thank them enough for all their efforts and hard work. The videos, the long hours, and we really, Lisa and I really appreciate everything you guys do. On behalf of all of us here at the Manufacturing Safety Alliance, congratulations and have a great night.